Okay, this video is for things that we learned Rishonim and in Acharon that we learned on the sugya of David HaMelech and drinking the water. So learns here the Rambam. The Rambam made the comment, Asur lignov kosher hudinzari, you're not allowed to steal anything. For Asur lignov derech schok, I'm not allowed to go ahead and steal even in a joking manner. O lignov amanas lachzir, or to steal something with the idea of giving it right back. O amanas shalem, or even if I'm going to pay. And this is in line with our Gemara that David Melech was not allowed to take this. Well, he was a Melech, he could, but another person could not take the Sorim now for his Behema with the idea of paying back with Adashim later, even though he knew that the owner would be happy with it. Hakol Asur, it's all not allowed. Shalo Yargil Atzmo B'chach. So Rama gives an interesting reason because even though this maybe isn't real stealing, if I steal and give it right back, etc. But a person is going to get used to the idea that it's okay to steal, and that's why it's not allowed. Comes the Rush. The Rush also commenting on this Gemara says the only time that David HaMelech or another person would not be allowed to take the Sa'arim with the idea of paying the Adashim back later is if he did not have the Adashim in his possession. So I'm reading from the third line. V'yiret. It seems to me, to Myri, we're dealing here in the case. Shadayin lo mizumanim. The reason why it was Asur is because he did not actually have the Adashim yet. He wanted to take the Sorim, and if it comes later on, it's going to come. He's pretty positive he's going to have the Adashim, but he doesn't have it right now. So he's taking the Sorim right now in the morning, and he's going to return the Adashim maybe tomorrow, the next day, depends on when he captured the field of the Plishtim. Aval, but says the Rush, however, if the Adashim were here, had them already, but he couldn't, logistically, he couldn't get them to the Baal Sorim. So he says, "Afilu ein ba'alei gedishin sorlu faneno." Even if the owner of the Sorin field is not in front of us right now, mutar l'skos lahen gedishim shos adashim ayidei acher. What you could do is you can give the adashim to a third party. In other words, logistically, you can't transfer the adashim to the person who's with the Sorim because he's in another town or whatever it happens to be. So I can take the adashim, give it to a third party who will then accept it on behalf of the Baal of the Sorim. Now, even the Baal Sarin doesn't know anything about this. It's allowed because of the cloud, because of the rule. Zachin la'adam shelo b'fanav. You can accept something for somebody which is a positive, even when the person doesn't know about it. Because we assume that if he knew about it, he'd be ecstatic. This guy has Sorim. He's going to get something more expensive. Of course, he's going to want it. And therefore, we can go ahead and we can arrange for that to happen. Then we learned from the Acharon, Rachaim David Alevi, who wrote a tshuva about somebody who was in desperate need of money, and someone gave him money to watch. He was supposed to, and that was the deal. And the fellow wanted to know, could he go ahead and use that money? Because he was so desperate, he wanted to be able to use the money. So this was the answer. He says, midvarecha, from that which you wrote to me, ani mivin shechavanatcha lakacha kaspo shelo amanat lahazir lo li'olam. That what you're really planning is that you're not going to give him back the money. And certainly, if you're planning not to give him back the money, certainly, if I need the second line, ki davar zehu asur l'chalotem, to take the money, to steal the money, even though you say you need it as pikuach nefesh, you can't steal for somebody else. And even though he gave you the money, and you're watching it, and you're supposed to give it back to him, you can't go ahead and steal. However, there is a reasonable doubt in that can you steal on the idea of paying back. But he feels he's not for sure that he's going to be able to pay back. He thinks he's going to get a job next week and be able to pay back, but he doesn't know that. So he says, even though he doesn't have money right now, to go ahead and pay back. But he thinks he's going to be able to get a job and be able to profit later and then to pay. That would be called, okay, I can pay it back. Because it's a case of pikuach nefesh. So in other words, he allows in pikuach nefesh not to steal, but what the Rambam said before is not allowed, to go ahead and to steal with the idea of paying back, that he will allow in a case of pikuach nefesh. Okay, great. Thank you.